Good morning and welcome to Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Space travel has always enthralled human beings for its mysterious charm of the outside world, and so do the technologies. And one always wonders how could man go? And when we ventured into the space, it was an experience even for those who had not gone. They had a vicarious pleasure that the humanity has surpassed a frontier. And now, when we have established International Space Center, Israel is making a breakthrough in 2022. That's the next year they are sending. And when technology is being exported to space, along with this new trip to space by Israel, are quite interesting. Some of them onboard drones, flexible solar panels, cameras to photograph lightning elves are just some of the technologies. But today I'll talk specifically of those technologies which relate to astrophysics and engineering, and other technologies I'll take up in the coming episodes. The space technology, let's be very clear, is a specific engine that is steering the Israeli economy today, and it's going to be the main factor in deciding the economic state of any country. And as a matter of fact, in the world, very few countries retain end-to-end capabilities when it comes to building satellites and providing services like USA, China, India, Israel. And state of Israel has an advantage over all others based on their military expertise in this sector. As a matter of fact, the pioneer in space technology military aspect is Israel, and looking at them, President Trump had ordered Space Force. Now, astrophysics is a very important aspect of space venture, and you always need new technology. So does engineering. These are the basics of venturing into space. Now, upper atmospheric lightning, for example, is usually referred to in common layman's language as lightning elves. Now, they're nothing but a form of electrical breakdown phenomena that occurs well above the altitudes of normal lightning and storm clouds, much above them, hundreds of miles above them. There's electric lightning. And this phenomena is at an altitude where we can't see. So they are sending a technology called LAN-ES, ILAN hyphen ES. Now this would observe upper atmosphere lightning. It will study the examine and behavior of lightning elves and atmospheric electric discharge phenomena. As a matter of fact, you might be asking why? What's the need of it? Basically, this would ensure passage of the spacecraft through those storm clouds and lightning forces which strike at tremendous speed and have a great destructive potential. You remember, STS-17 mission aboard Columbia's shuttle failed because of these lightning elves. They are mischievous, elves are mischievous fairies, and they can destroy the space. So, using a camera, the astronauts will photograph such phenomena from space. Information will be provided to the astronauts with advanced warning of the lightning system that inhibit the spacecraft's light path. Very useful safety concern being addressed for the first time. Second is tracking gamma ray burst, GALI they call it, GALI. Gamma rays are a very common phenomenon that occur in space. And there are intense energetic explosions that have been observed in distant galaxies. Explosions that are brightest and the most energetic electromagnetic events. And they occur in the universe, and basically they are emitted by supernovas and black holes. So this galley would be used now. This is a technology developed in the laboratory of Technician Institute of Technology. It would include just 1 liter sensor, a sensor of 1 liter size. It will monitor those eruptions, and then they'll be placed outside the station, not inside, but monitoring it. It will give a feedback so that again, not only we observe these intense explosions of energy, but are also able to save the space station and the astronauts and the travelers in due course of time from exposure to gamma rays. Third is the quartz capsule is safe in heaven, safe itself. This is a patented technology of Israel that allows the use of commercial electronics in space using a protective shell or a capsule. This technology will enable the production of space systems much faster rate at an extremely low cost and high performance. What would happen is the astronaut will place a capsule containing electronic radiation sensitive component in a designated space inside the station and analyze performance and monitor radiation levels. So again, from the safety point of view, and they call it safe. It's a safe in space by itself. Another technology is vacuum arc thruster. This is basically a clear established proof of propulsion using vacuum technology. It will demonstrate a new miniaturized propulsion model based on that vacuum arc, which has been developed in a lab in Israel. And what they would do, the astronauts will monitor the motions of the model using temperature measures, energy consumption, and add it to the trace images. This is basically a first step towards building infrastructure in the space. At present, we are sending only the platforms and we are sending the stations and we are sending the drones and missiles. So this would be building an infrastructure there and maneuver capabilities of the satellites from the space itself. Many times satellites fail, they tumble down, so they'll be able to monitor it and set them right. Another technology is called Asteroid. Now, again, most important is that the astronauts who are sent have a major issue. There's a cosmic radiation which can cause cancer. And this is going to arise when large number of the travelers go if Musk is successful. So this is a sort of a radiation vest for the travelers and astronauts. As a matter of fact, it's a startup, STEMRAD, which has manufactured these cosmic radiation vests, and they will absorb when the astronauts are aboard the spaceship, they wear it, and it will be a sort of a new generation complete radiation protection unit. It's a personal protection device that guards astronauts against high radiation, efficient, and it's ergonomic. Most important is ergonomic. Efficient it is. So not only would it protect the astronauts and the space travelers at a later stage, it will also collect data for further research to create a wearable vest for long-range space missions. And maybe if at one stage you want to inhabit these planets and save yourself from radiation, which till now has been a major problem. That's why when our astronauts and cosmonauts have gone, they have been there for a few minutes only because of the danger of radiation. These are the few astrophysics technologies that will be sent with a space mission by Israel in 2020. But then there are engineering technologies as well. They are sending Space Pharma Advanced Lab. Now, this is a miniaturized lab in space till now. What we do is we collect the data, bring it on Earth, and NASA and other space stations in their labs study. So, this Space Pharma lab is unique. It will conduct experiments in microgravity, where biological and chemical systems have accelerated processes. And the scientists would be able to observe three-dimensional growth of cell structures and molecule structures of proteins and crystals. Now, this would enable scientists to conduct reliable, repetitive, calibrated, and uncalibrated experiments. And all that would be monitored from the, so this lab would be set up there, fully automatic, fully full of artificial intelligence or augmented intelligence, controlled by people on the earth. And it will use the results of the experiment to further develop and explore the functionality of the system and its units. This would be extremely useful because we'll be able to know the cell structure of some microbes over there which have not been seen as yet. And we'll be able to know the sort of the molecule structures of the proteins and the crystals. Another engineering technology is an onboard drone. Now you would say that the Venus, when rover went to Mars, it had a drone. But the drone developed by Professor Avi's lab can be used as a personal assistant for astronauts and travelers. This drone would be controlled by a closed circuit control and equipped with a camera to monitor its efficiency. And it will use artificial intelligence on object recognition and tracking. So you see, there's a mystery. As I said, the charm of space is lies in its mystery. When a thing is mysterious, it attracts you. So to find out the mystery and to find the reality is a constant challenge to the human mind and human ingenuity. So this device in the station would enable astronauts to perform daily experiments, carry tools, take photographs, and broadcast ground conditions. So communication in space, which is a major issue, would be extremely safe and efficient with the help of this jet. Then, microfluidic lens would be there. It creates a lens of viscous liquid. This is a curious thing. Now, lenses are usually crystalline, but this lens is a viscous liquid, and it will involve creating optical components without the need of mechanical polishing. And the use is under microgravity conditions. This is, this is basic, for the production of advanced optical components in space. So ultimately, what Israel is wanting is to set up a station over there, which will be a base for the further research and advancement in space, not from the Earth, but in the space itself. It will produce optical components in space itself. It will create telescopic lenses over there and utilize them. And in fact, this would be a connection with the Earth. And then there are two more technologies which should be of interest. First is communication between the Earth and the space. They call it a free space OKD. The experiment will test the transmission of a photograph signal from the space to the Earth by a receiver that utilizes innovative polarization and algorithmic methods to detect polarized transmissions. So this would be a basic, new, innovative, fast, instant communication, and later on it can be used on the Earth itself. And the last technology, last but one I'm talking about today is a nano IS antenna. This will be a pop-up antenna in the station. And again, the purpose is high bandwidth communication in space. Now you see the communication with space is very difficult. The elves, lightning elves, the storms and everything that distracted. So this will deploy an antenna in the station. The camera will record the course of deployment as well as its accuracy. And it will help authorize the antenna for satellite use. So as I said earlier, the satellites and the stations and the missiles which are going up, rockets, they'll be guided from the space to the proper need. Then, most important is space to water, two-way communication between the space and the ocean. You remember this time there was a fallout of a Chinese missile and it was feared that it might hit the Earth and destroy that part of the world. Luckily, it fell down in the Indian Ocean, saved a lot of lives. But suppose it had fallen in Maldives or in India or in the country, it would have been a disaster. So what this new technology is, it will demonstrate a two-way communication and a combination of underwater acoustics with the satellite. So for the space, they will manipulate the underwater station, which will be immersed, and in case of such a happening again, they will ensure that the falling satellite is guided to the ocean. The astronaut will send orders from the space station to a vehicle located on the globe, seafloor, receive data, send feedback to it. University of Haifa has developed this, and this is a great, great saving for the people living on the earth. It's a safety device. So these are the few technologies which are being used in 2022 by Israel when they go into space. And as I said earlier, these are going to be a great saving for mankind and a great leap forward regarding other technologies which are going in space in 2020, because 2022, next year, is going to be a watershed in space travel. And this has been ensured by entrepreneurs like Musk and imaginative minds, innovative minds. So other technologies relating to medicine or clothing, textiles, food, I'll deal in the next episode. Don't you think that these technologies are going to make living in this world and journeys abroad in the space much more charming and attractive? I think they are. Thank you.